Yo.
Hey, welcome to the new meta episode 142.
142. Yes, that's correct.
Is it? The
Yes.
schedule says 41. You
Because
didn't.
I always copy paste it from the previous week.
I know, and I always go in and fix it, and I didn't fix it today.
Oh. Jeez.
How you doing, man?
It's been a week. Tired.
Yeah, it's been a crazy long week.
Yeah.
And we just got news that it's going to be a crazy long weekend, but we'll talk about that in a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah. You know
No
what?
sleep for the wicked.
It's a good week to be an ARPG player. Am I right?
It is, man. We have the D3 season launch. We're getting PoE juice Thursday.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 Resurrected juice Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And what other? They couldn't fit any more juice in.
Maybe. I mean, they're PoE 2 juice.
Man, this is such a weird. I don't know. PoE's league news is dropping the same day as the alpha. Like, do you think somebody was like, "Oh, let's get it"? How of all the days in the year, how do they drop both the things on the same day?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I don't know if they I don't know. I wonder if they
Somebody's
try
gotta
to
be
jab at each other, or if they don't give a shit.
yeah, but if they don't, why the same day? Like, how can they always line up shit on the same day? Launches on the same day, news on the same day. Like, it's always the same day. And it's just these two games. It's not like every game. Like, it's not April 8th is like the game news dropping day. It's
Right.
like, oh, April 8th, that's just game news day. That's when we do it.
Yeah.
Like, no, yeah.
And they just happen to be competitors. I don't know.
Yeah, they happen to just be like, yo, hey guys, we're here PoE's dropping news on the 8th. Let's get them. All right. I don't know, man. It's cool though. It's a lot to talk about. Next podcast for next Tuesday.
Oh my God, loaded, right?
It's going to be crazy. We're going to have the D3 season updates. We're going to have PoE juice and then Diablo 2 juice, and
nutty.
it's going to be a fun one, man.
So how was your Easter? How was your Easter Sunday? Your Diablo 3 season
cool,
launch?
Man. It was quite disappointing that Diablo launched on a holiday again because I played. So we'll backtrack and we'll get to the Easter. We launched Friday, and it was we had a nice little session, man. A nice little 14-hour session.
Yeah,
wasn't too bad.
No, it was awful, actually.
Yeah. It was probably the worst start we possibly could have had.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I don't think we could beat that.
No. We leveled slow. Somehow I got like 10 levels ahead of everybody, and then we probably spent another extra hour leveling because P didn't have his challenger stuff.
The only thing I can think of is that you were killing mobs while looking for the cursed chest.
Yeah,
that's because I couldn't, so I was just running looking for the chest. Maybe we shouldn't split next season. I don't know. Splitting seems. Maybe we should do rifts. I don't know. I think rifts would have been faster in that scenario.
I don't know. Who knows?
It was bad though. We didn't get. We had one of our teammates' Discord wouldn't work all night.
Yeah.
We had and I don't know if they were having internet issues or not. It was hard to decipher because we couldn't communicate. Nobody got any leveling juice.
No, I didn't get a Chrisman sentence until Paragon 750, and I didn't get my stupid Grass of Essence in my original roll. Huge.
Yeah. We didn't have it, and I got nothing because I screwed up the challenge rift. So it was bad. The only redeeming quality that I was able to pull off in the season is I was able to get a royal ring instantly on the first bounty boxes we got, and I was able to get my 4-piece bonus or 6-piece bonus really early. So I was able to help carry a little bit to get over that hump to get the stuff. But that was already 2.5 hours in before we got that, or maybe more. So,
and then right as we started to pick up momentum, I started getting slammed with performance.
Yeah, then we got performance issues.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was horrible. I've seen you baby rage a little bit, but not like that. Like you were legit.
I was about ready to quit.
I stopped poking fun at you at one point because I'm like, I think it's past the point of haha. Like I could tell you were starting to get pissed off, so I started trying to help find solutions instead of poke fun.
Yeah.
And it was bad, man. And not only was it bad for you, it was bad for everybody. You were getting the hard freezes.
Yeah.
I got client crashed like 4 times during the night at least. and then until we found the fix. And if you guys have been playing the new Firebirds set, or I guess God D8, like pretty much any set in the game, and you're getting this lag, I'm telling you, it's not a your computer thing. Like my computer is as beastly as anybody's out there, and it still happens to me. And it's I thought it was server lag. It's not. It turns out that the game has issues processing the audio, and muting the audio or turning audio off in game only mutes it. The game engine still processes it. So you can replace a DLL file in the directory, and it tells the engine can't process the audio anymore, which then fixes the lag subsequently. Fluff put out a YouTube video on it, on how to fix it. There are some forum threads. I've been linking it in my stream like multiple times a stream, because everybody comes in and everybody's been complaining about this. Other people are telling me there's a process affinity trick you can do in lowering stuff, and it's audio related 100%.
Yeah.
So I can confirm though that I was skeptical, as like, this trick isn't my issue. It's server lag. It's not my computer. I'm running on a 3090 with, overclocked 8700K at 5.1 gigahertz with 32. I'm like, I have all these stats. I'm like, my PC is the shit. Like, it's not my computer. This is Diablo, right? I can run 7 copies of Diablo at the same time. No, it really is. It's the game engine. The game engine's screwing up. So do the fix. The only downside is there's no audio.
Yeah, and it's wild because like 6 to 8 months ago, QDog kind of released the same thing where we were getting hit with really hard performance issues in PoE, and then he found a thing that was like basically what this one does, which is disables the audio from even loading, right? You can disable sound, but it doesn't do anything for you because it's still like triggering, I guess. But if you disable it from loading, it prevents the lag. So something about isometric ARPGs and audio is just the most performant taxing thing on the internet.
Go check out Fluff's vid if you need some direction, or you can, I'm sure you probably have links in your chat. I have links in my chat. And you can check it out. I just try it. I'm telling you, like, I didn't believe it. Fluff told me he was running buttery smooth after he did the fix, and we were live streaming, playing together, and you can hear me go, "No, seriously?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like, no, really? Like, I legitimately did not believe him. And I did it myself, and it was buttery smooth. I'm talking about smoother than I've ever had Diablo play. I can't remember Diablo running this smooth. No rubber banding, no latency, nothing. I'm talking about butter. So it's a good thing. It sucks though, because we don't have audio. I mean, I play without audio all the time anyways. So, but there are times when I do turn it really low, audio really low. So but try the fix. I hopefully this will bring light to the issue, and the D3 team can take a look at it, and maybe there's some kind of implementation or some kind of thing that they can do to actually fix it.
Yeah. Apparently it's been a thing for a really long time, but it's just like hitting a head recently.
Yeah.
Even worse than it's ever been.
Yeah. It just seems to get worse and worse with the more damage we do. So.
Yeah.
But
it's wild too, because I wasn't getting any lag all night, and then that moment you switched over to Mirage dudes, it was over. I started freezing like 5 times a rift.
Yeah, done. Like, that breaks it. It totally breaks it. And so, yeah, it's crazy. Like, so I logged in. So the audio fix only works on that battle.net launcher session, unless you launch the game through a shortcut or whatever. But so it replaced the file for me, because I didn't realize it did that at first. The game's like, oh, this isn't the right file, and it fixes it.
Yeah.
And so I load in today, and I went to a T16, first T16, and it was like instant chop, couldn't move. I'm like, oh my God. And so I just log out, throw the file in, boom, fine, I'm fixed. So then I'm grouping with people, and they're like typing in party chat, oh my God, the lag, I can't even play. And I'm buttery smooth, right? And so I'm like, here's the fix for it, man. Do the fix, dude.
I had the same thing. The first I logged in like Monday, and I forgot to do the thing. There was swap out the file, and I was in a GR, and I froze. I was dead, and I clicked to revive. As soon as I clicked to revive, I froze, and I unfroze. I'm dead. I clicked to revive. It froze, and I unfroze. And it must have killed me like 7 times before it finally figured itself out.
if you're playing hardcore, don't like just do it like instantly.
Just don't
I'm telling you, I have people argue with me, but like, no, that's not my. I even argued. I was you. The guys that are like, that's not my problem. Like, yes, it is. Like, I was you. I was like, it's not my machine. It's server lag. It's got to be server lag. It can't be my machine. No, it's like it's the engine. It's a bug in the game engine of processing the audio. So just try it. If you're having any kind of latency, just try it and see if it fixes you. It's easy to fix. If you don't like it, all you got to do is close the battle.net launcher and reopen it, and it'll patch the game back to normal. So,
yeah.
But so back to the thing. The original question was, how was Easter? So we did that. We streamed hard, man. We went hard Friday night, and we'll go back into it a little bit after. But so then Saturday, we streamed until 8 a.m. and I was already kind of hinting like I should probably log off and go to bed because my wife's gonna kill me. And so around 8 a.m., my wife shows up in chat and she goes, "Oh my God, ... comma." Like, and I already knew. I'm like, oh man, I did it. I stayed up too late and I was feeling good. I could have gone for probably another 3 or 4 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, so we played for like another hour-ish maybe or so, and then I took off. And I went and got like 3 hours of sleep, and that's all. I woke back up, and then I was just up again. And I'm like, okay, let's just do it. So we went and hung out and did our party stuff, and we kicked it all night. And then Sunday, we had awesome weather for Easter, man. Did you get out and do anything Easter Sunday, or did you stream all day?
I went and saw my fam, yeah.
Yeah, I did too. We had awesome weather. We went and played mini golf, and just had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah.
To the batting cages, did some softballs.
That sounds way more fun than what I did.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
I just went to their house, had some aggressively mediocre food, and yeah.
How do you have aggressively mediocre food? What is aggressively mediocre food?
It's just mediocre, but to the highest level.
So it was almost good, but not quite?
No.
Or it was just
about
super
as mediocre
mediocre
as it can be, yeah.
Okay. That sucks. So what did you bring to the party? Did you bring any food?
No. Just myself.
You just showed up and ate? I got you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay.
You know,
You're one of those guys. Okay.
Yeah. And then like my brother didn't show up, and my brother was like texting me the night before being like, "Hey, you should come out, we're going to a club." And I'm like, what the fuck?
On Easter,
it's a pandemic, bro.
Christian Bale's gonna be there.
And then he didn't show up, and I was like, oh
yeah,
because he got too drunk or something. And then
that's cool.
Yeah.
It's good job. Fluff's brother.
Good Easter.
He seems like a stand-up guy. I want to meet him someday. So
yeah, you know, he's a nice, like, you would hang out with him and be like, he's fun, like he's a good time. But
okay.
Yeah, he just makes some questionable life decisions sometimes.
Okay.
That's all.
Everybody does at some point, right?
Yep.
We just grow up out of them, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that was kind of the weekend, and then Monday we went back and we did some more. So my day 2 of the season was actually yesterday. It was kind of nutty, but we got on and tried to play catch up, you know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I do think that if we would have had some like better start, better luck, and you hadn't messed up your challenge, it actually wouldn't have been like the worst combo. So we did the Bone Spear Necro with him as the Firebird Wiz, and we did a support Barb and a support DH. It really wasn't bad.
Yeah, I was playing Mirror Images, Firebirds. Fluff was doing well. You did too. You did
Bone
Spear
Army of the
and
Dead.
You did the Rat, and I liked them both. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think your Army of the Dead. So the Mirror Images are really stupid, and they kind of attack anything or nothing. Sometimes they just do their thing, but a lot of times, if stuff's really close to them, they will attack it. So if I can spawn them right on top of an elite, then they will most often hit it. And so your little groupie pull thing is like with the rats was pretty nice actually, because it would, and on top of it doing good damage to the elites too, it would make sure that they were all right on top of my Mirror Images.
Yeah.
So I liked it, man. Once we got rolling, I think we were doing okay. It was just getting to that point took us way too long.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the season we did rats, we were 900 when we quit. Over 900 when we stopped on day 1, and I think we didn't even go. We went like several hours less than what we did.
Yeah.
This last season, and we only hit like 720 or 750 or something like that.
I think 750 or 850, one of those two. I can't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't 850 for sure. At least not for me, not when I logged out.
Yeah.
But it was unfortunate, man. next season start, it's got to be better. It's only can go up from here. This is like this is the worst that we possibly could have had.
Yeah. But we forgot to get in some Twitter polls.
Twitter poll.
So last week we asked you guys which class you're going to start in season 23, and 50% of you guys voted Necro, Witch Doctor, Wizard. No surprise there. 35% said Barbarian, Crusader, and only 15% said Demon Hunter and Monk. Which is kind of surprising.
I looked at leaderboards today.
Okay.
What do you think has the highest clears right now?
Wizard.
By far, right?
Yeah.
The power gap is insane. It's pretty nutty on Wizard. The Wizard's bottom of the ladder. So like I said, I didn't play again until Monday. So today was like the second day of the season for me, really. And I hit I'm like maybe 850 Paragon or something. I'm pretty low. And just starting to get some decent pieces. I've done a lot of carries like yesterday and today. I did a lot of carries just to get people caught up. So I haven't been efficient even. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, let's see what leaderboard is. And like 118 was bottom of the leaderboard. And I'm like, dang, that's pretty high for this early in the season. What's the Paragon level? And I'm checking Paragon levels, and it's pretty low too, man. Like that's around the 800 to 1,000-ish is that level. And I'm like, that's not too bad. And then I go check the other classes, and it's like Necro was like 103, and like Barb was like 100, and Demon Hunter was like 106 maybe. And I'm looking, but nothing else was even close. I mean, like the highest was Necro, and I think it was like 103 or 106, somewhere in that range. And then Demon Hunter was really close in that range. But like Witch Doctor was like do a 60, and you're on the leaderboard. It was bad, man. It was super bad. So it'd be interesting to pull up the numbers and see how they fluctuated. Even in one day, they went from like 108s yesterday to 118s today. I think in like one day, the bottom has jumped up that much. So we were able to cheese the 180. I was like, well, let's just see if we can do it, because I cheesed it in like 7 minutes just to get on. Like, wow, this set's pretty powerful. It's a little overbalanced right now.
Yeah, I just brought it up, so let's go through them real quick. Wizard is at a 133.
And look at the Paragon on it. Like the Paragon's not like crazy.
1149. 1800 is ranked too. Jeez.
Yeah. 1149. That's pretty nutty.
Yeah. Witch Doctor 126. Necromancer 135. So actually Necro's highest right now. With a 1600. Monk is at a 123. DH 128. Crusader 125. And Barb 127. Alkaiser's going ham.
Yep. So it's funny. Look at the bottom of Witch Doctor real quick.
Okay. 82.
Yeah. So like basically, if you do a greater rift on Witch Doctor, you're probably top one. There's like 1,000 people playing Witch Doctor this season, basically, is the way it boils down to.
Wizard, the bottom is 119.
Yeah, 119 already. It's already gone up. So
yeah,
people are going crazy, man. There's going to be competition on Wiz this season. What's in Necro? What's Necro at for chance? I think it's probably like 106 would be my guess.
Wait, 135?
No, the bottom.
Oh, the bottom, sorry.
Yeah.
105, yeah.
105, yeah. So that board, I don't know if that many more people are playing Wizard or if it's just that much powerful or a combination of both. I think it's probably a little bit of both.
Probably a little both, yeah. I think that the Necro set is underwhelming, so everyone's like, well, I guess we'll just push with.
So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that? So you've had time to play Rathma a little bit.
Yeah, I've been rank 1 every day.
And you've played Bone Spear, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the power of the Rathma set compared to Bone Spear? Is Bone Spear that much superior?
Bone Spear is insanely superior. Yeah, the Rathma just like it kind of falls short of like a real play style. It's incredibly squishy. Stuff looks at you and you die. It feels and plays like just a gimped Grim Scythe, Poison Scythe Necro. And just like the worst way possible. So it's just not. It's not. So it's just not great.
It's no fun.
It's not fun, and you just die nonstop. Yeah. But we're pushing it because it's a new thing, and like that bit of it feels fresh. But I mean, compared to like the Bone Spear, was like just get a good rift. Where is the Rathma's like, get a good rift and literally do everything in your power, crazy backflips to avoid even mobs looking at you, because you will just get absolutely wrecked.
You're just instantly dead.
Yeah.
That's the worst to me. I hate the glass cannon.
Yes.
Personally.
Like when a thunderstorm goes off and you don't even have that window of like, I'm in a thunderstorm. Let me get out. You're just dead.
Or jailer. Jailer's the same. Yeah.
Vortex.
Yeah. And so like to me, I've never been a glass cannon fanboy, because it's always like, when you start pushing high enough, you get to that point where it's like, if you get hit by anything, you're dead. You're going to get hit by things. You're like, thunderstorm, I procced. Shit. So it's just, it's not something that I enjoy a lot. I would prefer failing a rift to damage versus failing a rift to survivability. I think they're two different extremes, right? But when you fail a rift and you don't have enough damage, you're just like, come on, baby, get them. And it's like, you're kind of in there. You're like in the fight, you're pushing, you're trying to think about ways you can get more damage, squeeze out more damage. But when you're dying to get in one shots, you're just frustrated and dead and looking at the screen. So that's unfortunate, man. Hopefully they can buff the toughness up. What else? I mean,
it definitely needs more damage too.
Do you think it's too late to rework the set still? Do you think Blizzard should just move on to the next set, or should they take feedback after this season and maybe for season 24 make a couple other tweaks and try to make it better?
Yeah, I mean, I would think it'd be really sad if Rathma stayed in this form. It is, to be fair, better than it was. A lot better. I mean, you could even argue that it's like the second best, probably. Like, I don't know where the other ones sit. Rathma's at 115. Tragul's, of course, at 90. Anarius is 92. Pestilence is 102. Masquerade is 90. Yeah, so it's the second best.
Right.
It's just not good enough, and the playstyle is not very fun. So
I feel like Hydra came out in the same state that this Rathma build is in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the new toy, but it's the second best set on the class. And ultimately, it's overshadowed by the best set, even though we have leaderboards now. But then they came back the next season and they tweaked it a little bit, but then it became a LAN build and it wasn't fun. And it's like that set never had its limelight. And so I'm afraid that Rathma's going to follow in that. Like next season, let's say they're not probably going to touch Necro at all next season. They're probably going to do like Monk or something else, right?
Probably.
That's just the way it goes, right? It's usually a 2-class cycle every season, usually a 2-class cycle. So I hope that they can get some good feedback from this set and just tweak some things easily, quickly, and just be like, okay, here's your polished up new toy. Like try this for season 24. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, man, I'd be interested to see what people can come up with for ideas to make this set good that are easy. Because you got to remember, they got to be able to implement it too. We can't do a whole redesign. So how do we fix this design to make it playable? You know what I mean?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they'll come up with something. I mean, I would love to see, that's the thing that I say season after season. Even if like their plan is to rework 2 different sets for like next season, it's 2 different classes. It's not Wizard, it's not Necro. Like there's literally zero risk in either buffing up Rathma. There's zero risk in buffing up Pestilence. Like, and there's zero risk in buffing up some of the other sets like Yuliana, whatever. We just know they're underperforming, and it's mostly because of damage. So like, what's the risk? And just like giving everyone something, even if it's not like a big rework to their thing, like give them a boost of an underperforming set.
You can see, like, you'll have the whole season statistics, and this season's a really good one too because there's no seasonal theme power. Like this season is going to be a really good. Here's your power list because people just pushed on fresh characters with those sets. You know what I mean? So, I hope that they buff the toughness on the Rathma set. If you're saying it's squishy, I would like to see that be happen a lot.
Yeah,
and then maybe the damage. But is it from a playstyle standpoint though? Is it fun? Is it tweak damage numbers, tweak survivability, and then it's fun?
I mean, the GR speed build is really fun. Like what I was playing with you and what I play if I'm speed farming with Rathma. It's actually a really good time. But the push setup. Maybe because it is, in fact, so incredibly squished and there's nothing really you can do. I'd love to see it become something more like you would have control over your like maybe times of mitigation. And it's like there's maybe some more big brain aspect to it or something like that. But yeah, just straight up giving it more mitigation is I kind of don't like that, right? Like I like them to have like a play style in mind instead of just being like, well, it's getting one shot, so let's just buff its mitigation, or
that 75% damage
yeah.
reduction goes to 150 now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So like give it windows or procs or something. Yeah.
Yeah. The Firebird set is fun. I like it. It has.
So does 99% of Twitch.
Yeah. Everybody likes it, right? Everybody's playing it. Not everybody. I actually had people say they didn't like it, but they're rare, you know. So it's fun. It's a fun build. I do have issues with it though. I do think that your damage is reliant on your minions hitting the correct target. And sometimes that's super frustrating because I've spawned them on top of yellows before and I've watched them turn around and run away. And like they're not even attacking anything. He's just like, I'm out. You know, and I'm just like, what are you doing? No, come back, you know? So that's a little frustrating. It'd be cool if it would function like Rathma, where if you moused over and cast them, they would attack that target that you had the mouse over, like the Singularity mages.
Let me ask you this though. If you could, if power wasn't an issue, if they both perform evenly, would you rather play the Mirror Image or would you rather play the Fragment of Destiny Spectral Blade self-cast?
Spectral Blade.
Yeah.
Personally, because it's different. It's a melee build, right? It's just different. It's just fun. I
completely agree.
This one is fun too. It's not like I'm choosing between two fun things. It's like so I don't really care that much, but I would have to say that the other play stuff. I think the difference is the other build also gives you more variations you can play too, because you can make that one super tanky.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it super glass cannon. And in T16 for speed builds, you have a little bit more options. This one in speed doesn't work as well either because you have to pop your mirror images and then again wait for them to attack the thing you want them to attack. Where at least with the other setups, you can melee and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either would be great speed builds in general, but yeah, there are more play styles with the other one. So
yeah, I definitely prefer the other play style much more. But it is what it is. It's funny because, I remember SVR before he had kind of like stopped streaming or whatever. Like one of his last wishes for Wizard was Death Wish to just get deleted, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Death Wish breaks. I've said this forever, man. As long as Death Wish is in the game, it's going to be the weapon that mages are going to use. And because there's no restrictions on the damage, it just ups your damage if you're channeling. So the only way to fix it is if they add ups your damage on tornadoes, ups your damage on whatever, to where it doesn't buff the entire mage. And they keep band-aiding, like they put the 1 second cooldown on it, so now it's a garbage weapon because you get knocked back or you have to cast anything else and then you got to wait for your second to start back up again. And so it just makes it unfun. Like it's not like they stopped us from using it, they just stopped the weapon from being fun at this point. They're like, oh, so now great, I got knocked back. Thanks.
Is there any wizard build that's not like channeling besides like maybe Frozen Orb?
No, I mean, not that's top tier. No, all the top tier builds have been channeling.
It's gotta be so annoying.
I didn't play Wizard the last couple seasons, but I think the Lod Hydra was channeling based, I believe. All of the group play builds have been based around Star Pact, which was channeling right before your meteor hit, which is why it got the nerf in the first place.
Veer, you channel outside of
Veer, in Veer's, Veer's Chantoto might be the one.
But you channel outside of Veer, so you're still channeling.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but you're not using Death Wish, I should say. Yeah. Twister. Twister's going to get the free cast from the Etch Sigil, so potentially it may not use it as well. But I don't know why they wouldn't. So.
Yeah. Talrasha Meteor is channeling, is it?
Yeah, it's definitely channeling Atali. So maybe Frozen Orb would probably be one I can think of. I haven't played a lot of Wizard lately, but it seems like in all those sets I've played in my history of Diablo, ever since Death Wish has been added, you've been channeling.
Yeah.
So. And it's a cool item, man. It's just too universal.
Yeah.
It feels like a necro weapon got added to the Wizard loophole.
At least necro weapons have like a lock to them, like you have to run bone armor, you have to run.
Yeah, like you can only wear one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, which one do you want though?
Right.
They're all good. So yeah, I'm with you. And I like that. I actually like necro weapons being good because you want your weapons to be good.
Right.
Like your weapons, that's your juice, man.
It's wild to think about like playing one of those other classes. You're like, I'm gonna upgrade one-hand swords as a barb, and there's like 50 things you can get.
Yeah.
And you upgrade a scythe on the necro, and it's like you have a 75% chance to get something really good. So it's ironic.
Yep. It is. It's crazy. What did we at? Did we get to the Twitter poll? I think we totally derailed.
Yeah, we got to the first one, but the one for next week, team, is, in case you guys didn't see, Diablo 2 Resurrected is going in alpha Thursday. And with that, and we'll get into the article in just a second, but you'll be able to start an Amazon, a barbarian, or sorceress. So which one are you guys going to start out? Tweet that out right now. What's it going to be, Chet?
So, what are you doing Thursday, buddy?
I am going to probably play this.
Oh, okay. Remember those bad life choices we were talking about earlier? Okay. Just throwing that out. Okay. Sounds good. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We have.
So out of left field, I mean, we knew this was going to happen, Chet, but I didn't expect it to be so fast. It turned around so fast on this.
Yeah, we knew it was going down. We didn't know that it was. Bam.
Yeah. Boom. Right there.
There you go.
So the details here. So we get, like we said, the Amazon, the Barbarian, the Sorcerer. So we don't get all the classes. No Necro Sag, no Druid Sag, no Assassin, etc. And we're only going to play Acts 1 and 2. And then PChild, I didn't read the whole article, but PChild, right before we started, had discovered there's not grouping this time around.
Yeah, there's no multiplayer. So Fluff and I can't tag team up and check out some D2 from 20 years ago. Interesting, I guess. I mean, it's fine. It's an alpha. Like they're gonna limit. They want to focus your attention on things they want you to test for them. I do find that a little disappointing. I think it would have been really fun to jump in and experience things with people, but this is a big thing for me. From my standpoint, personally, I look at this is a huge thing because I'm either going to love it or hate it. I feel like, and I haven't played the game in 20 years. Seriously, it's been 2020. Did it come out in 2000? I think it came out in 2000.
Did it come out my year of graduation?
Googling something if you're playing the tic-tac-toe drunk game. Here you go.
No, Diablo 2 release date. Flashbang. Yeah, June 2000.
2000. It's been 21 years since I played this game. I played this game when it launched. We've talked about it before twice through, but it's been that long, man. So I don't remember it. I don't remember anything from 2000.
You literally have not touched the game since 2000?
I have not touched the game since 2000.
Wow.
Honest to God truth. I watched you play it once.
What got you into D3? Obviously, you weren't this crazy big Diablo fanboy.
I mean, I knew of Diablo and I liked it.
Sure.
But
you hadn't really experienced the phenomena.
Honestly, like they gave it away. They like if you did a year's worth of sub time to WoW, they gave you the game. And then I had a lot of friends that were huge Diablo 2 nuts. Like, so Diablo 2 was like end of like early college, right? That was like end of high school, early college for me because we're old.
Yeah.
And so I remember like all my buddies playing Diablo 2. Like we had a little group of guys and they were way more into it than I was. I was like playing like, GTA 4 or whatever the hell. And they were into Diablo. And so they sucked me in and that's when I started playing. But these same guys were like, yo, Diablo 3, and they were so super hype. And I'm like, okay. And then I bought into the hype. I started watching the trailers and I started watching the announcements. And by the time Diablo 3 dropped, I was hooked, right? I was like super excited and super hype. But yeah, man, I haven't touched it in 21 years. I haven't played it at all.
That's wild.
So yeah. I watched you play it once and I was like, good God, absolutely not, sir.
Yeah,
And
that
I've watched Llama
wasn't.
play it a little bit, and
Yeah.
I'm just like Llama's entertaining, but the game itself is like, ugh, you know.
I mean, we'll see. Well, I'm excited to hear your feedback after next week.
Yeah.
I actually played it a lot, and I'm looking forward to revisiting it. I'm a little sad that there's no Necro, but it's fine. Keep Necro fresh when the game finally does come out. So I guess we'll go back to our Barb main.
We'll get some betas.
Frenzy Barb, here we come.
I'm on a Barb main.
Listen, I was a Barb main before you were even dreaming.
I was a Necro main before you. I played Necro at the launch of D2, so.
So did I.
And so did I.
Well, obviously, one of us mastered the Necro and one of us fell behind. That's all. That's all I can say.
Okay. All right. We'll see. So, it's interesting. I hope I like it. I'm scared I'm not going to like it because I feel like so many people are pressuring me to love this game. Everybody's like, this game's so good.
Is this going to be like a Path of Exile thing where like I'm encouraging you to play every league and you're like,
well, it won't be
I just don't like it.
Everybody. It'll be like, that's why I hope I love this shit. Because if I don't, everybody's gonna be like, what, Pete, you don't like Diablo too? Oh my God. How dare you?
I mean, you don't really like Path of Exile, so clearly your judgment is not quite right.
I don't dislike Path of Exile. I played like 80 hours this league. I don't know. It was like 40 maybe. I don't know. But it was enough to be like, yeah, that was fun.
Kill Awakener. Kill Awakener. That's why still in your background to this day is Awakener's die beaming you in the face.
Oh, is that who that is? I don't even know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't like him. He's scary. I don't like him.
He is actually terrifying.
He's horribly terrifying. So what if you don't like it, Fluff?
I'm honestly curious to see if they have surrendered to the force move. If we'll see that in this round.
They better have, dude. I can't play a game without force move. I haven't. I can't. I'm trying to think of a game where W key was not my force move because that's what I bind it to.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is a big controversial topic, so much so that I got death threats over it. But it just seems wild to me. One is that you have controller support, which left joystick, by the way, team, is force movement. That's literally what it is. And then to follow up on that is to be that person that gets so upset that force movement exists, even though it doesn't affect you whatsoever. But then to be mad that force movement would exist, and then on top of that, be more mad about force movement than controller support doesn't make sense to me as like a PC purist, doesn't it? Well, you'd think that controller support would piss people off way more than force move.
You would think that force move, like, why are you mad about you're mad at force move because you have finite control of your character and you're afraid you're not going to be able to master it because you suck at the game or something? Like, I can't understand like your thought process behind not wanting it. Like, it's a good thing. I hope they do. I hope they have it. I hope they do. Like, if controller support's there, what if it plays better on a controller? Because
I could definitely see that if we have to do the 2-click movement, right, or the 2-click like action. So if you guys don't know, Diablo 2, like you queue up the skill and then you activate it and then you cast it. So I hope that that's all gone. I hope we can just hotkey, like if I want to hit V and cast Bone Spear, I could just do that. I don't have to like hit V and then right click to cast the skill and then have force movement as well. Like, yeah, there's just like some really basic advancements that we've made, and as far as control scheme goes in the ARP genre that D2 doesn't have, and I'm worried there might be a margin of people that will not play it because of how clunky it will feel.
Yeah. I think from a graphical standpoint, man, I've seen some of the trailers, I've seen some of the new footage they've had, and it looks pretty cool. Like some of the stuff they put out there, it looks pretty decent, better than my initial thoughts. I think when I saw the trailer, I think hopefully it's going to look pretty good. But man, like double clicking skills and like, I don't know, it just feels, I'm nervous, man. I'm super nervous. I hope I love it. I hope I have a great time. But I am nervous that a 21-year-old RPG game mechanics won't hold up. You're going to look at this and be like, like Frogger was a great game 40 years ago.
Do you think we'll get the cutscenes already? Or do you think they'll save that juice?
I would think we'd have them.
Act 1 and 2.
I would think. We're testing the thing.
Oh, they said no, according to my moderator.
They said no? Oh, man.
So,
that's cool.
I mean, that makes sense. I think that is the play. That is the play.
It's the alpha. I would save them for the release, personally. But
yeah, I would too. That's the big brain play. But yep. I'm looking forward to it, man. I actually really am. Because I played a lot.
Let's hit up the classes real quick, though.
Sure.
So the Amazon is, in my memory, I didn't play it. So a javelin spear throwing bow. This is like your ranged class, I guess, I suppose.
Yeah.
Can it also go melee too? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, I never ever played an Amazon ever.
I didn't either. So
but I had a buddy that played one. He was a Javazon, and so he would like throw a spear and like chain lightning like crazy. Okay. I couldn't tell you anything about it because I didn't play it myself.
Okay, she looks very
thick,
strong. She's very, very masculine. And
yeah, I mean that's historical Amazon. They're big women. It's fine. Big, beautiful women. BBWs.
Below her, we get Mr. Kratos to choose from.
Yeah, he looks quite different.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really remember.
He looks like a young strapping barb. That's cool. So barbs are barbs, man. It's going to be Whirlwind. Yo. Whirlwind, baby.
Frenzy
Let's
barb.
do it.
So much better than Whirlwind barb.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to Whirlwind. And then we have the Sorceress.
Yeah.
Underneath, who looks mighty magical.
A fan favorite, Sorceress.
But yeah, people were arguing in chat. So I had people in chat today telling me that they're like, what are you going to play? I'm like, I don't know. Well, I'll have to see. And they're like, oh, Barb is the best. I'm like, oh, Barb sucks endgame. No, it doesn't. It's great. This is it just started the whole, the whole thing. And I think that's kind of some of the fun. I don't know how I think I'm going to approach this as in like nobody's ever played this game before. I'm going to jump in and just start playing it and see how it goes. And I think the crappy part of this is like, honestly, you can just go out there and look up a Mr. Llama guide for every spec, every class, and do a thing. Or I'm sure there's a million dudes out there that have these specs already pre-built, and you can just go copy paste, boom, good to go. There's no discovery. Like everything's already there. It's already known. You already have the knowledge of like, this is the best class. I'm going to play this when the game launches.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always go back to that question of like, so 10 years from now, they give us patch 2.7.0 in Diablo 3. Like, we're excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But like, it's always going to be like, oh, dang, well, I wish they had buffed Poison Scythe. I wish they had made Wrathma better.
Yeah. Right. It's like, like if 10 years from now we get this patch again, it's like, all right, well, I'm paying Firebird mirror images.
Yep.
Because I already know that's the best.
Right.
So again, for me, I think what my strategy is going to be is I'm going to approach this. I'm not going to do any research ahead of time. I'm going to jump in the Diablo 2 experience from 20 years ago. Haven't played it, won't remember anything, and just jump in and start playing the game and see how well of a job it does of teaching me how to play the game, and how much your intrinsic ARPG mechanics follow through and actually work. Like this should do this because it's an ARPG. Does it? I don't know. So
I can't wait to hear about you break your character like seven levels in already. Can't wait to hear it.
I'm sure I will. Yeah, for sure. And the backseating is going to be legit. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm going to go into it also kind of blind and just see what I remember as I go. I don't really want to like min max and because it's Act 1 and 2. I don't really care. This isn't launch, so yeah, I'll be like just explore and check out the cool new stuff and high definition and nostalgia it up.
Checking out the graphics and seeing how good it is.
Seeing how dark the game is in the regular mode.
Toggling on off, like graphic mode, classic mode, and then just
llama mode versus.
Yeah, they should just call it llama mode. Oh my god. Yep. So
I made the suggestion. Hopefully
what did they say that they were going to do for the widescreen aspect ratio when they toggle graphics on? Were monsters not going to path out of that 4:3 aspect ratio? I know we asked the question, but I can't remember the answer now.
I think everything is the same. It's just like it switches.
So you'll be able to see them at the edge of the screen.
Yeah.
So that
and they somehow worked it out, I guess. I don't know. I remember them being like, we just like did it and it worked.
I'm like, how? That can't work.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. I'll have to look that up again before launch just to see. But But pretty cool. So if you guys don't know, the technical alpha starts
Thursday,
7 a.m. Damn, boys, waking. I mean, we're getting out of bed early on Thursday. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they're saying 7 a.m. and you have to opt in to the technical alpha. They're doing a giveaway on their Instagram page. If you like their Instagram page, you can try to get a key that way.
Follow me on Instagram too while you're at it, guys.
Yeah. I don't do Instagram. I should. I don't.
It's just travel stuff. So you're for gaming.
Get it. What else do we have? I guess that's it. I'm going through the notes real quick, see if there's any other big notes that they have.
Not about D2, no. Hopefully you guys get in, man. If not, you can just watch us. Imagine not getting in the alpha, right?
Yeah, yeah. What if we don't get in the alpha? What if they're like, oh, sorry, we forgot to tag your account, and it's like 3 days later. They're like, here you go, we got you turned on, bud.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man, really?
True.
It's kind of like the Immortal. Like, how much notice did we get for Immortal alpha? It was like a day, less than a day, I think.
It was really fast, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, hey, Diablo Immortal alpha tomorrow. Like, wait, what? I don't even know how to stream my cell phone. Are you kidding me?
I know. I had to figure that out real quick.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm like YouTube and having some 10-year-old teach me how he streams his fucking Fortnite mobile, you know? So
yeah. I had to like download CODs and get like the aspect ratio right and set up a frame because it like, you know, it's not right. It's not 16 by 9. It's like
not 69. I just left the black bars on the bottom. I think it looked okay.
Yeah. I had like a little animation because, you know, my stream's just the highest quality on Twitch. So
I think it's the second highest. Yeah, I agree with you. My quality's definitely higher.
Keep dreaming, dude.
You can pause and compare if you'd like. What else do we have? Yeah, we played some. Well, you want to jump into?
I mean, you had some challenge of controversy.
Yeah, people. So I'm curious, man. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think in the comment section, because I got to figure that the majority of the people that listen to the podcast are more than casual players. I would think if you're listening to a podcast, you're not a really casual player. And so this week's challenge rift was, I mean, it wasn't super difficult. We still completed it on the first try, right? But you're playing a Corpse Lance Necro, or I'm sorry, a Pestilence Corpse Explosion Necro is what I meant to say. And so until you get that first corpse, it's kind of hard to train. And like I jumped in, I didn't really look at it too much. So for the first couple seconds here, I'm like, wait a minute, how am I dealing damage here? Hold on, what skills am I using and what am I rocking? And so then we figure it out and we get the train moving. But it's a lot of people struggle with this, man. And I like if you look at the comment section, you'll see people talking about how they just can't beat the rift and how hard the rift is and this and that.
Really?
And it did suck until you figured out how to play it. It did kind of suck, and especially the Rift Guardian, because if you don't have any corpse, like there's no way to generate corpses on this build. Like you don't have Land of the Dead, you don't have teleport, you know, you don't have any of the good things.
Yeah.
So if you didn't spawn a bunch of corpses to kill the Rift Guardian, it sucked, and people were upset. And then other people were like, "You're a noob. It's a challenge rift. It's not an easy rift. It's a challenge rift." You know, so. I'm just curious, like what you think, and then in the comments for the YouTube thing, like what do you guys think about the challenge rift, man? Do you like it? Do you dislike it?
Yeah, I mean, I get that mentality of like, well, it's supposed to be challenging, but I don't think that a challenger should be challenging in the sense that like, wow, this guy's build is so bad, and he didn't really know what he was doing so much that this is challenging. I don't think that is the level of challenge that we really want to experience. I want to play like an actual build and like, you know, have a tough time beating the guy's time. That's a challenge. It's not to like, hey, let's figure out what the hell was going on in this noob's head and then make it happen.
Like this build could have easily been a million times better just by having a teleport with molting or whatever it is that drops the corpse when you blood rush. Like that at least could have given you a starter piece to get going. Or Land of the Dead. For the Rift Guardian, like there's so many weird choices that this guy made, and it's almost like, is this guy really playing this build?
He didn't even run Devour, man. Like,
yeah, like is he trolling? Is he trolling, trying to just get the leaderboard, and he did it successfully? Like, hats off. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm kind of with you. I think that this is a pretty crap build, even though it wasn't that difficult. It was a pretty crappy challenge rift, and it just goes to show how they could. I think they should take leaderboard polls every week. I don't think they should take like random runs. They should take a leaderboard clear of
Yeah, they should
somebody
take a
that got a
speed
leaderboard.
clear. I don't know if they should take a leaderboard clear, because then like most of your players are not gonna be able to do it.
You don't think? You
Oh
don't
my
think
God,
if,
I know.
like, okay. So let's just say like today on my wizard, just for fun, I pushed on leaderboard just to get on the boards for fun today, right? I did it in 7 minutes. It was a super easy run. I did it in 7 minutes. If they have multiple shots at that same run where they can look and find the pylons, they can see where the elite spawns are at, you don't think they could beat it? Like,
you're overestimating. Like, I have a counter argument for you.
It adds some time.
This is the challenge rift of the week.
Okay.
This player exists. And this player exists every week. We see a challenge rift. We get some like, what the hell is going on here? Your average Diablo player has no idea what's going on. Most of them probably don't even know who we are, or watch guides, or get on YouTube. Yeah. They just play, and they're like, oh, this seems like it's a good combination, and they have no clue what's going on. So yeah, jumping into your build that you easily cleared, first try or whatever. No, none of them are going to be able to do it.
I think that they should pick some kind of build like that, and then add 2 minutes to it. Like, they should do a bronze, silver, gold tier would be ideal. Like, if you beat my time straight up, then you get gold.
Yeah.
And if you fail it by a couple minutes, you get silver. And if you just complete it eventually someday, maybe give them a consolation prize. I'm not big on that, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would give them a glimpse into end game for that class. Like, that's the thing. I think it lets them see, like, because it rotates every week. So every week you're going to get a different class, and you're going to play a top tier build on that class, and you would get to see what it plays like. And I think that would be a really cool thing for people to like, man, I don't know. I never played Wizard. Oh, I'm playing the new Firebird set this week. Dude, that's dope. Like, let's do it,
Yeah. Yeah, again, I've always said the challenger should be a chance to showcase something that normal players wouldn't normally have access to. So the fact that it's just like, Ashbringer, Pestilence, without any idea what's going on, it's like you're not showcasing the game. You're not showcasing like, hey, this is what you could achieve if you keep playing. You're just like showing them like, hey, this guy did it wrong. How do you play?
This guy did it wrong. Can you do it better?
Yeah.
Can you do it better with his shitty build?
It's terrible.
Yeah. So that's it, man. It's just interesting. And we don't get very hard challenge rifts very often. And again, I don't think this one, like, it was hard to manipulate the Rift Guardian over the corpses. That was the only hard part. I don't think this one was super hard, but a lot of people struggle with it, and this is when the controversy hits. Every time there's a hard one, which happens like maybe once a season, then people get super upset, and it seems to happen a lot during the season starts is when they pick these harder ones.
Yeah. So I've never failed one, so I don't know.
The only one I ever failed was the Judo one that was super tight. Udijo. And it was hard, man. It was like RNG based. It was just, did I get the crits to kill the guys or not? That's what I ended up getting in on my second or third run. But it was just crits. It was like, well. So,
yeah.
Other than that one, never failed. That is that. What else?
We did have the opportunity to play some Outriders together.
Yes, we did.
What were your thoughts there?
Outriders is fun, man. I had a good time with Outriders. I think it was, you can just type /videos at the end. They switched it up.
Oh my God! Why do they keep moving it?
Yeah, it's gone now. You can't even get to it. You just got to type your thing /videos.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's stupid. So Outriders is good. It's a fun game. It's this game kind of reminds me a little bit of Lost Ark, right? And here's why.
Okay.
Because Lost Ark is so good because of its combat. And that's it. Like, I mean, Lost Ark probably has other things that are amazing, but the reason that I was sucked into Lost Ark and I played Lost Ark as much as I did is because combat was fun. It was fun to go in and kill things. And that's what Outriders is. Outriders is fun. It's fun. to go in and shoot things in Outriders. They did a really good job of that. The story, it's mediocre. The game, the actual like graphically and the environments, it's above average maybe, but not the best I've seen. The environments are pretty linear. You're running in a straight path most of the time. No exploration, but it's fun to go shoot things and use your abilities. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I just hope and pray that they fix the blighted rounds animation noise eventually, because all my abilities are so loud that I can't even take it.
Yeah, I turned the sound almost all the way off.
I switched to blighted rounds, like it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like your normal gun.
Right.
Blighted rounds, boom, 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 boom. You're just like, what? It's that bad. It's really that bad. Yeah. To the point where when we were playing together, I would run away from you, like for my own sanity. When you would plop your blighted rounds, I would just run away. And so to make that even further, is the in-game builds, you have infinite blighted rounds, so you're always making that much noise.
Yep.
So yeah, it just gets better. But I had a good time leveling, man. I had a good time playing the game. I liked the game. It had launch issues, some severe launch issues, like every game, where the game's just down. Servers went down. I had servers crash as I'm collecting loot out of some end game. It'd be like doing a Greater Rift and the Rift Guardian pops his loot. I had the game crash literally while we were getting ready to pick the loot up, so we didn't get it. I got to see it explode out of the chest and then not pick it up. So things like that feel really bad. We've had some severe downtime. I know you were scheduled to do a segment of Outriders, sponsored stream, and their stuff was down, and
couldn't even do it.
Hopefully they were cool about that. So
yeah, I have to do it tonight after the pod. So
yeah, it feels great.
Hashtag sponsored, hashtag ad.
Right. So, but ultimately though, I had a good time playing the game, and I've enjoyed. I played it a little bit off stream when I get it's a game you can jump in and play for like 15 minutes and log out.
You played a lot off stream. YouTube timing.
What are you talking about? I don't have 2 max level characters.
How did that happen? I don't even have 1.
I don't know. It just happened.
Quit skimping on your D3 season. Jeez.
It just happened. Listen, I've been streaming D3. We're good. We're there.
You're such a variety streamer now.
I didn't even stream it. That's why I didn't stream it. So you can.
You're a variety gamer. You're a variety gamer.
There we go. Listen, I got my side chick. I love it. Like my side chick.
Shame.
Endgame's cool on it.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I'll wait for you.
Yeah.
But it's a good. It's okay. Good. You'll have a good time.
Good.
You're pretty toxic though. You'll probably find a way not to like it. Well, you have to like it.
I literally am toxic. I do poison damage. So
you have to like it, right?
Because I'm sponsored. Yeah.
Because I'm sponsored.
Totally. That's why I only take sponsorships where I can only say positive things. That's why I do it.
Yeah. No, that's what I would do.
It's my style.
Yep. And then what about is there any juice for PoE? Are they leaking anything this week prior to this stuff?
No. But we got some confirmation about when it starts, which we already knew. Really nothing else from Path of Exile this week. Obviously, this is for me is like the thing I look forward to the most, and then the fact we're gonna get some PoE2 news as well. Thursday is gonna be huge, right? So we got we're gonna pause. Diablo you're gonna play Diablo 2 Resurrected, and you're gonna pause and go watch Path of Exile trailer. Yeah, that's a good day, man. That's a real good day.
You're literally pausing D2 remastered, Resurrected, whatever it's called, or something, and to go play PoE. Maybe.
Yeah.
To go watch some PoE drops. They better have some PoE2 hotness at the end of this thing. Like they teased the 2
big time.
And if they don't deliver on the 2, I'm gonna be semi disappointed. Because honestly, that's what I'm more hype about. Yeah. I'm more hype about the 2 than
they even doubled down. Where is it? Path of Exile. Their recent tweet was just like, 2 days. PoE 2 right there. PoE Ultimatum.
They gotta have.
Whew. I'm so excited.
What do you think they're gonna show for PoE 2?
I mean, for your sake, I hope they show some kind of UI. I don't think that's what's gonna be, but I don't know. Just talking about it some more.
It's not going to be UI. They're going to have their same old shitty UI on there. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think the UI is going to make it to PoE 2. I think PoE 2 launches with shit UI. The same UI.
You're right. I would be surprised. I don't know. People are saying like maybe they're going to showcase more ascendancies or maybe more X. I don't know, man. I really have zero idea of what to expect and to what degree of like juice we're actually even going to get. Like a lot.
The only reference I have for PoE 2 is you, because you've played it. You played it.
I did
at Path of Exile Con, and I'm like, Fluff, how good did it look? And your reaction is always, it looked good.
Looked damn good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And I just hate to like not believe you, but it's hard to believe you. It's really hard to believe you. So I want to see some footage. I want to see some gameplay footage, and I would hope that they would release like some source quality. Like, let me download a 5 gig file and look at some source quality footage. I would love to see that. To really pick on like, okay,
you don't think the PoE 2 looks good even on the YouTube videos?
I mean, it looks okay, but there's a difference though. You can watch Diablo 4 videos and still it doesn't look like it did when we played it. You know, like it looked good when we played it.
Yeah.
And like when you're watching compression, like you can't see the.
How does that not look hella good?
It does look. It looks good, man. But it's PoE. Like he still runs
just like D4.
You know, he runs stiff. Look at that running animation, bro. That's not D4. He's still got a broom up his booty. You know, like he's having.
Would you rather have a stiff character or I don't know, a skill tree?
Okay, that's a low blow because you know what you got to think there. Like they zoom back in again. Do it again, guys. Yeah, it does look better, man. It does look good.
Yeah. I'm excited.
But is it gonna be the same thing where we're like whirlwinding the entire screen again, and like, you know, like this gameplay footage is slow. This is very, very slow paced.
Yeah.
You think they're
early
gonna
game PoE is slow?
So. I know, but you think they're gonna reset and slow the game down, or you think it's instantly gonna be back to PoE 2 speed?
I don't know. Like I get this question a lot. And obviously I think most of the Path of Exile community agrees that like the game should probably be slower, more methodical, but
yeah,
it's hard to see like a universe where that could even happen, because like all the skills are coming forward, and like, you know, probably most of the things we already know in Path of Exile are coming forward. So like, I don't know, unless there's some kind of combat overhaul between now and PoE 2, it's just really hard to believe that would be a thing.
I don't know how they could bring everything forward and still maintain the game, because like they're actively developing PoE now. And if they're going to bring all that shit forward into PoE 2, there has to be a hard cut where they're like, okay, anything after this date, we can't maintain because we're working on PoE 2. So I don't even know how they juggle that. There's got to be like
that is a programming nightmare. So I've actually been part of something like that, where we are actively like, we're building out the next thing and we're trying to integrate the current thing. And it's a mess. It's a total mess.
There's no way. Yeah. That's such a nightmare.
Yeah. So
there has to be a cutoff date. Like, okay, patch 3.9 or whatever they're at, 4.9, whatever they're at right now. Like, okay, this is it. Anything after this doesn't make it into PoE 2. So throw some softballs out there, you know?
Yeah. It's wild, but I mean, they've promised, you know, like every cosmetic is going to be in PoE 2, but they just keep releasing more and more cosmetics, and like it's just like, man, like how are they ever going to catch up?
Some audio glitches, you know?
The dream.
I wonder if they could.
I just want to disable audio in every RPG I ever play. So.
Yeah, just disable it. I'm excited for the PoE 2 juice. Honestly, man, that's like probably one of the biggest things, because I hope the game's something I fall in love with, man. I really do hope that this is like the game that I'm just like, yo, this is it. I'm done. I don't even care what D4 does, right?
You'll still be a variety streamer at the end of the day.
Oh, of course.
Regardless.
But that's not the point. The point is, I want PoE 2 to be something that I'm like, this is it.
It's going to be fantastic. So it's just whether or not you think it's fantastic.
Oh, no. It's not whether or not you think it's fantastic, Fluff. It's whether or not I think it's
PoE
fantastic.
right now is fantastic, and you just think it's okay. So
I'm with you. I agree. That's a great statement.
What else?
I guess that's it, man.
Great.
I think that's a pretty short pod this week. The D3 launch
next week, though. Whoo!
Ooh.
It's gonna be nutty.
They killed Anthem. We talked about that before, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rip Anthem. And then do you have some hates this week?
Gosh, so many things I hate.
So I'll start with the loves.
Okay.
Okay. So I watched the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. 4 hours, boys.
Long.
4 hours of your. It's long. It's a long one. But it was such a better movie than the original Justice League.
Mm.
And I still don't think it was perfect. I felt like Zack did a really good job of making a really crappy movie, a very mediocre movie into a good movie. His edition was much better. It makes me wish that he would have got to direct and film the whole thing, because I'm sure he would have filmed scenes completely differently than how they ended up being. But man, it was good. It was in 4:3, which bothered me the whole time.
Oh yeah.
It bothered me the whole time.
Same.
And the reason that they did it in 4:3 was because they wanted to maintain the IMAX aspect ratio, and they initially filmed it that way, and they cut it to fit 16:9. And Zack decided not to do that. So you ruined your whole movie because of IMAX theaters, is the way I feel about that. It's like you should have filmed it for your home audience, because that's who's going to watch it in the first, like, forever. Like, right? Film it for the home video, not for the theater, especially not for IMAX theater. But that bugs me. I understand why they did it. Like, if you break it down, I understand why. But aside from that one thing, it was so much better. He also broke it into acts. Like, he did this act 1, act 2, act 3, act 4 thing. And that was kind of weird too. Like, I felt like he did that because the flow, like, because the footage was so bad that he had to do that to, like, say, okay, guys, this is what we're transitioning now, because I don't have the footage I need to make that transition really flow. It's kind of why I felt like, but it was good, man. I liked it. I highly suggest, if you have 4 hours and you're a comic book fan, that you go check it out. Some of the additional scenes, when you see them, I'm not going to spoil them, but when you see them, you're like, dude, that was cool. That was awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump on your topic. There's a lot of things I still hate about the Zack Snyder cut.
Okay.
I really, really hate when, like, nerdy movies go above and beyond nerdiness. So, like, they kind of debuted the Martian, spoiler alert. And, like, I don't know. Like, I never read comic books. I don't know who the hell this guy is.
He was either. Yeah, me either.
And, like, and it's supposed to be like this grand unveil, and it just comes across as really fucking weird, for no reason. Like, he leaves that room, and it's like, and he turns into this thing, and you're like, why though? Like, what was the point of that? Like, it makes no sense.
I didn't get the reference either, right? So, like, you see what happened, and in case some people haven't seen it yet, I won't really go into it, but you see him come out, and then it's him, and you're like, okay. And then my wife was like, who's that? And I'm like, I don't know. And, like, I'm not a comic book nerd for real. I was a Marvel guy. Like, in all honesty, as a kid, I did read comic books. I collected mainly X-Men comics. Like, I was a Marvel nerd, Spider-Man, X-Men, and really that's about it. And then a little Batman. But I didn't have any idea who he was.
Yeah.
And so I Googled it after the movie's over. They kind of explained it just a little bit in the post-scene credits. Like, it was very vague, but a little bit in the post-scene credits.
How did that explain anything? It was just like,
well, it says his name, and it says that he's a friend and here to help. And
but
stuff,
we don't know what he does. Like, what? Yeah.
Well, he can shapeshift and fly, apparently. So I Googled it afterwards. Sure. Right? I'm like, well, who the hell is this guy? And so you pull it up. They also, like, I mean, I haven't seen the original since the theater in, like, 2017, whenever it came out. Did they have the guy in the portal? I forgot his name already. Dark
Side.
I don't think it was Dark Side. Was it Dark Side?
I think so.
I don't know. Whoever the guy in the portal was.
Yeah.
Was he even in the original?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
Dude.
I think it was just the main dude, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, having him report to the other dude for the cubes, like, it just made a lot more sense. Like, it just kind of made the reasoning stand out more. So
yeah,
I don't know. We should do this is a whole. We could do a whole, like, Fluff and PChild movie review section, right?
I just hate you know, when movies just go too nerdy and they assume the audience comes in with some sort of nerdy knowledge. Like, I think, the World of Warcraft movie had really suffered from that. Like, they're like, oh, we're doomed unless we find the Tear of Mytharia. Like, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's so dumb. Right? I hate that stuff so much. So yeah, I think one of the things like that really crossed over fantastically was, Batman Begins, Dark Knight. You didn't need any kind of knowledge of what the hell was going on. It was just a good movie from start to finish, and it was fantasy, and it was great. I love to see movies like that.
I think it's cool if they make references to things that don't affect a lot, but you can be like, oh yeah, I'm a nerd, I know that. You know what I mean? But I'm with you. Like, there was like, they didn't ever say the people's names in this for a long time. And I'm like, yo, it's the DC Thanos guy. I forgot his name, but I know he's Thanos because like every DC and Marvel has the same shit, right? It's like, Hawkeye and Arrow, I think his name is just Arrow. Like, they're the same dude, like Silver Surfer and, whatever, dude. So like they have the same superheroes and villains. I'm like, oh, that's the Thanos version of DC. But I forgot his name, and they don't even tell you his name through like the whole movie, and you're just
Darkseid. They do.
Yeah. Well, they at the end.
If I got it, then yeah.
Yeah, but they tell you like at the like through the whole movie. I'm going, what the fuck is this guy's name? Like, I can't remember who is this guy? What's his name? So, I made me want to pause and Google a lot, but you resist. But it was cool, man. I think it just disappoints me because I feel like the Zack Snyder cut was better than the original. And I feel like if he would have directed the movie, maybe it would have been better from the get-go, and the second one wouldn't have been canceled, because I'm pretty sure they canceled the second one now.
Oh, yeah. So that's like done.
Yeah, it's all done. So it would have been really cool to get more of those.
I was personally, the part that I found the most interesting was like the kind of alternate timeline dream stuff. I think that would have been a really cool movie.
Right.
But
what's still funny? I thought this after I saw the first one, and I thought it after this one. Like, Batman's a bitch. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, Batman is such a bitch. Like, Batman gets his ass kicked and really can't do much. Like, you got Superman who's just like chilling, and kicking
Superman's just too
ass.
strong. That's the problem with DC, period.
Well, that's why they had to break him. But that's the whole thing, right? Okay. So, but Wonder Woman's kicking all ass. Cyborg's kicking ass. The Flash is even kicking ass. And Batman's just like a dude. You know what I mean? He's just
holding it all together. I thought that they did a good job of making him not worthless. I'm just saying,
like, when the fighting goes down, Batman is
he's like the Hawkeye, right?
He's picking guns up and stuff because he can't, It's just like, okay. It's just, but Batman's my boy. Like, they need to figure out a way to make Batman just kick all ass too. Like, he needs to be something, man. So I just thought it after the first one. I thought it after this one. I'm like, dude, Batman is so inferior in the combat to everybody else.
Yeah, well, Superman's a fucking god, so it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I get it. Like, they screwed up that's why they had to off him, because he's too good.
Yeah, but now he's back and he's ridiculous. So
yeah, so the next movie, like, he's got to be gone again for the whole movie. Otherwise, when the bad guy shows up, he just like flick. Okay, next. Like,
it's ridiculous. He's just too strong.
But when he showed up at the end, how cool was it? Like, this cut was better. Like, the fighting sequence of him in this one was superior to the first one by far, because he's just kind of like, "How you doing?" and then just like proceeds to maul the dude. Liked it.
Agreed.
All right, let's get into some Twitter questions.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do a side podcast called PChild and Fluff movie reviews.
We will never agree on anything.
No, it'll be that's the point, though, right? Who were the guys that did it for so long? Siskel and Ebert?
Yeah.
Did they agree on shit? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Siskel was probably the toxic one, and then there's me, the sensible one.
Yeah.
So the first Twitter question comes from Demonic Grizz says, were there any hobbies as a kid that no longer interest you? If so, why do you not enjoy them anymore? I think this is very topical to what we were just talking about. Comics for me. I used to, as a kid, collect comic books. I had a pretty good collection of primarily X-Men, but I had like, Spawn #1, Max a half, and I had a bunch of old, all of the, I still have the Fatal attractions collection on my bookshelf over there, which is the X-Men ones where Wolverine gets his adamantium ripped out of him. They had holographic cards in the front. That's why I kept them. But those are pretty dope. But I used to collect comics as a young kid, pre-junior high era, and then I stopped. Well, obviously, once I found out about girls. So, but yeah, I don't care anymore, really.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it was I actually just saw this because I went to my parents' house and my mom's like scrapbooking, and man, I was a really good artist until like 3rd or 4th grade, and then I just stopped. Mm-hmm. I just quit.
Yeah,
which was kind of wild.
That's kind of the same for me, actually. Like I used to draw. I actually drew digitally as of probably like 5 or 6 years ago, as of probably when I did the last picture. But like I once stayed at things and I've drawn stuff, and it's just I just don't feel like if I have free time, I don't want to spend it drawing things. I want to like play games. I think video games has pretty much ruined my life, but but yeah, so artists for you and comics for me.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. There's probably lots of things.
Oh yeah.
Coviticus says, what is the worst dining experience you've ever had at either a restaurant or a gathering due to food or people? Fast food doesn't count as it's inherently a terrible experience.
Man, like recently, Tulum was just awful. Like, cause I had reserved us this tasting for New Year's Eve, and it was supposed to be like this exclusive, like 15 people. There were only like 15 tickets available. I'm like, cool, there's gonna be nobody there.
Yeah.
And we get there, and it is like packed to the brim, like shoulder to shoulder people, and like so we're masking up, and I couldn't. Like you're supposed to just like sit down and have a drink before you get seated, and it's like there's just people around, so we like went off to the side next to like a heater, basically. We're sweating, but we didn't want to be near anybody, and then we like go sit down finally, but we're like still surrounded, like people are like dancing and like enjoying Tulum and New Year's Eve, and it's just like this is not what I was supposed to get at all. It was just really uncomfortable, given obviously the pandemic and. Just a Tulum vibe period. There's just a bunch of weird fucking people there. So,
right?
Yeah.
What's funny is I never paid any attention to Tulum ever until you went there and told me about it, right? And now I like see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I just never paid attention before, but now it's like, oh, Justin Bieber and his girlfriend in Tulum vacation, and it's like whatever, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's that place Fluff went. Like every time I see it now, I'm like, oh, that's where Fluff went, and it's like, oh,
It's Instagram or hub.
Yeah.
Swanky.
Hub, probably. Yeah. I would say there, for me, the worst, I don't know if this is the worst. This is the one that comes to me quickly. Is when my wife or my wife and kids and I all went on vacation to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico, and we stayed on a resort there. And it was like an all-inclusive resort where they had like food stuff open all the time. I would say 90% of the food was horrible. Like, I mean, like just, you tried to find something you could stomach because none of it tasted good. They had like a brick oven pizza place, and it tasted like you were eating fried rocks. I don't even know, like, what is this, man? It's funny is that this food I ended up eating the most was breakfast food because it's kind of hard to screw up scrambled eggs and cereal. Like I just ate cereal and stuff. So like they had restaurants that you got to go to 3 times a day for your meals, and those were okay. But the always open, like, go get what you want food places were pretty bad. And it was probably the cheapest, horriblest quality D grade food you could imagine. And it was a pretty expensive resort. I don't even remember the name of it now, but it wasn't like a cheap place.
Yeah. So that's a shame. Puerto Vallarta has brilliant food, but you gotta leave the resort. Yeah.
What? Oh, Mexico does, or
Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. And it's kind of the same. I had the same experience on a cruise ship. I've been on a couple cruise ships.
Oh my god, worst food
and
ever.
Like one of them was really good, and the other two were like, what is this garbage they're feeding? But that's how the resort was in Mexico. It was the exact same as the cruise ship food. It was just like, yo, can't wait to get out of here, man. It's just like try to find one thing you can eat and staple, the whole time. So on the one cruise ship, they had a sandwich shop where they made like Subway sandwich style foods, and that was pretty decent. So I just ate there the whole trip. So, Maester Magus says, if you were picking a dodgeball team of D3 streamers, who would you pick first?
How many people we need? 5 or 6?
Number one pick? I don't know. How many people are on a dodgeball team? We'll say 3. It's 3v3.
Okay.
Dodgeball team. Leviathan runs a lot. Like, he's got to be pretty athletic. I don't know if his hand-eye coordination is there. I haven't played any sports with him, but I know
he suffers from injury though. Like, I know he's incredibly fast and he was like a crazy runner, but I think he like has trouble and that's why he hasn't run.
I don't know. He does a lot. He does a lot of marathons. Yeah. I'm gonna say he's probably gonna hold out on the team.
You pick your team and don't let me influence you.
Okay.
Okay.
Who else? Who's your you tell me your first pick while I think about it, man.
First pick could be Quinn. He's a scrapper. He's wily, unpredictable.
Okay.
Might be a good dodgeball player. Who knows?
You think?
Maybe.
Okay. Or he could get out instantly and
yes, that's also
cheer
true.
From the sideline.
Distract the other team.
Yeah. I think my next pick, I think I'd probably go with DapMods. Does he count? He plays during all the season.
What a giant target. Are you kidding me? DapMods would be terrible.
No. DapMods has the killer mentality, man. He's gonna go. He's got the beard. Like he's gonna. I'm telling you, he's gonna flip a switch. He'll flip the switch.
I don't know about that.
I do. That's what I'm picking.
Okay.
Do I get one more?
Yeah, I get my next pick though. Right? We can't drop the same people. Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
I mean, should I pick a girl because like people feel bad for throwing a ball at a girl? I don't know. No, we'll go with the next closest thing, Mr. Llama.
Mr. Llama?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. He's he seems to be in shape and he's got a big brain. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. The last
pick.
one, huh? Man, I don't know who to go with here. I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go. I don't know. You got me in a pickle here because Quinn was gonna be on my team, but you stole him.
Yeah,
I was gonna pick Quinn too. I think that was a good choice. I think I'll go with.
Wow. Apparently we don't have a lot of athletic people in the Diablo directory.
I'm just trying to pick who's going to be the next athletic on the team. I mean, I'm assuming we're already on the team because we're coaches, right? We're coaches of opposing teams.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to go with Bloodshed, I guess. I'm going to go with Blood. I think Blood.
A safe bet, yeah.
I think Blood could hold it down. I think he'd be competitive. I think he'd care about winning. And I think he'd play smart. I think he could do it.
Okay. Interesting.
That's it. That's the teams. So it's.
I didn't get to pick my third one. Oh no, I drafted first, didn't I? Did I?
Yeah, you picked Quinn, and you picked Llama, and you picked.
I don't think I got.
Was that
third.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get your third. Who you got?
Dang, that is tough. Al Kaiser, but his hair would get in the way. Crip, but then he'd probably get distracted by a mobile game. Gosh, I'll go with old Rex.
We'll go Rex.
I'll go Rex. Maybe he's a wild card.
It might be hard for him to see with that hoodie up, though.
It will. Yes, correct.
It might be.
I'll have to get him a blue headband or something.
Yeah. Something, There it is. There's the team.
There it is. I would have picked Mathel for sure, but I don't think I've ever seen him stream Diablo. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he ever has streamed Diablo. Onion says, the timing of D2 Alpha, are you happy with it or not?
It is awfully early into the Diablo season for me. It's pretty much going to kill my Diablo 3 push, probably. But this has kind of been a really weird season altogether, given the timing and etc. But yeah, I mean, it is a bit more premature in the Diablo season as I'd like. But that being said, I'm glad it's happening like before the PoE season, because I don't want to get sucked into a PoE season and have to like break off and play D2. So I guess I'm glad it's happening now versus some other time.
Yeah, timing's pretty bad, honestly, but there is no good time coming up. I mean, I guess it makes sense if they were planning on doing the D2 alpha this weekend. Maybe that's why we had such a short break between the D3 seasons. And if they would have launched the D3 season on a Friday and then dropped the alpha on the same weekend, like nobody would have played this season. So I 1 week into the season, do I like that timing? Absolutely not. But we got PoE 2 next week, so pushing it back another week wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
And Diablo doesn't seem to care about other games in general anyway, so is what it is, man. I am surprised they dropped it a week after the D3. You think they're trying to run the hype of D3, like be on the train? Everything's good. The season launch.
No, I don't think so.
I think they care.
I think D2 Resurrected crowd is totally different. There might be some crossover, but
yeah. Dash says, if you could unwatch any movie, what would it be? It's easy.
Final Fantasy VII Remaster?
That's a video game, dude.
Was it? Because I don't remember playing it a lot.
What? It's just toxic, dude. It's Starship Troopers.
What Starship Troopers of all the movies? I mean, it's terrible, but it's not like
it's terrible.
The original Justice League was probably worse than Starship Troopers.
No, it wasn't. Starship Troopers was so bad, dude.
I mean, I remember movies I've walked out on, but like those are not exciting.
That was Starship Troopers. That's the only one I've ever walked out of.
Black Dahlia, I walked out on that one.
I don't know.
Terrible.
I don't know.
I probably would have. Honestly, I might have walked out on Tenet. It was pretty fucking stupid.
Tenet? Really?
Yeah.
I've heard that's the new one. That's really recent, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I heard good things about it. It's weird. Let's see.
It's another one of those movies where they assume too much nerd and they go too much nerd.
What's it about?
You'd have to see it.
Okay. Like, they were assuming you nerd, like what, computer nerd? Comic book nerd?
No, just like, I guess, physicist nerd. I mean, I don't know.
Good. Hex says the price of console games seems to be going up to $70. Do you feel that PC games will follow that trend? How do you feel about it? True. PS5, Xbox One, $69.99
for games.
For games, games are $69.99 on most of the games. Some companies are still dropping $59.99 titles, but they've gone up about $10.
Yeah, I would assume that like if it's $69 on consoles, it's gonna be $69 on PC. Because otherwise, why would they discount a game for any platform kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. How do I feel? I mean, it sucks to pay more money for games, but also
you're kind of bound to have inflation either way, right?
Yeah. Games haven't really had inflation hit that hard over the last 10, 15 years. I mean, I remember back on Nintendo, we used to pay $39.99 for a game, right? So from the original NES, which was like 30 plus years ago, to right now, games they still haven't even doubled in price versus everything else that probably has doubled in price. So yeah, man, they get hit by inflation. I want these game companies to have the money they need to support the people that develop the games. Developers, have families and have jobs or have kids they got to support and stuff. And so I want those guys to be able to get paid. The thing that I don't like is like when you have CEOs of companies pocketing $200 million and they're firing.
That seems oddly specific.
I'm just
in general.
In general, it's like when you hear about CEOs taking home a $200 million check and then they laid off 200 people. Like that feels bad. And so that when you see prices go up and then you think how much of that's going to the $200 check the CEO is getting, not the devs that are developing the game. That feels bad, man. So, but yeah. That's it. That is all the questions we had for this week's podcast. Wow. Easy mode.
I actually forgot to. I thought this whole week that I had like published the last podcast, but I didn't do it until right before we started. I was like, oh crap.
Good job, Fluff.
I mean, it's pretty busy. We had 2 days to figure out every single necro build and then make guides. Like,
I'm with you,
awful.
man. I'm with you, dude. I'm not mad. So you get a double dose. That's right. If you missed last week's podcast, you can watch it and then go watch this one.
True. So when are you gonna find out if we could play Outriders together after this?
No, soon.
Okay, cool.
So I'll hit you up. I might be playing with you. Might be throwing down.
The dream.
So I'll
you've been playing without me, cheater.
I mean, do you want me to jump in and carry you? That's kind of what it's going to be at this point.
No, it's not. I saw your damage. There's no way. I probably still have more damage. Let's be real.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's up to you, man. But yeah, I will. I'll finish the campaign with you.
Cool.
See.
How far were we from the end?
Pretty close. But I'll tell you what, though, if we didn't drop that difficulty down, that final boss is a Bia. He's rough.
Good.
Yeah. So I kind of like, that's the thing is, like, if I jump in with you, I think I'm going to make that easy, and like, it's kind of
worried about it.
I kind of want to see you struggle boss a little bit.
You think I one-shot everyone that I fought so far?
Okay.
He was OP.
That's because I was carrying you through all of them.
Was it?
I mean, we can see. So, but yeah, I'll hit you up in how do you want me to hit you up? I mean, Discord you or tweet you or what?
Say something in chat, probably.
Okay. Well, you don't read your
way
chat.
Too popular to read chat. It's true.
You don't read it. So, have you guys seen him read this whole podcast? He doesn't read chat at all.
What during the podcast? Rude.
I know, right? All right, we'll catch you guys next week. Peace. My name is ThaPChild. You can find me at all the places at ThaPChild.
Yeah. I'm a Lord_Fluffy. Double those underscores on Twitter. We'll see you boys next week for a insanely juicy new meta episode.
It's going to be like a 6-hour podcast.
It really is. The PoE 2 stuff, the PoE 1 stuff, and then Diablo 2 Resurrected, and then continued D3 juice.
Bring coffee, bring snacks. Yeah. You're not, bring a bottle to use the bathroom in.
Bring a sleeping bag.
Yeah, everything. No, there's no sleeping during the podcast. No sleeping.
True. All right. Peace out.
Peace.